I'm Eric. I've worked with Terry for about 4 years now. I too know Tyler.
I'm Jan. Terry helped get me out of a, can I say hellhole of the teleservice center? Get into a field office. I was there for 5 years. She helped get me over here. I'll be forever grateful. And I too know Tyler. Okay.
I'm Trish. I worked with Terry for 30 years. I'm retired, no longer in Belleville. This is my husband, Steve. Hi, Steve.
Oh, go ahead.
Trish, you hired me.
I'm retired.
My name is Deb. I'm from East St. Louis now, but I've been working with Terry. I think you know Tyler. Oh, yeah, I know Tyler.
I'm Nora. I work with Terry in the Belleville office, and she's taught me a great deal. My husband Fred, and of course I know Tyler too.
I'm Kristen. I worked with Terry for about 2.5 years. She's my trainer. I don't know Tyler.
I'm Veronica. I've been here 2 months. Terry's been very helpful when I am at the Belleville office and not in training. I'm Tyler, and that's my husband.
Mary, you're up.
All right, Mary.
Mary, you need the microphone?
To everyone here this evening, Terry is somebody special. I just want to give her her flowers. She will be missed. We will have, I really will miss her fussing at Tyler. You know, fuss at people that you love. And I definitely know she cares a lot for him because she wants him to be higher. Terry, we love you. We will miss you. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Antonio Thomas. I'm a new hire to the organization, so I hardly know many people that well, but Terry's one of the people who whenever I have issues or need someone to correct me or something, she will pull out policy on and correct me on something. So thank you very much for all your help.
I'm Jane Cyber. Terry, almost 25 years. You're going to miss her dearly. I'm not going to cry. And I kind of know Tyler.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shirley, and I've known Terry for 31 years when I started with Social Security in St. Louis. I didn't work in Belleville until 2002, but when I came to Belleville, Terry was my mentor also, and she has taught me a lot, and I appreciate her. And I want her to know that, and I will miss her too. And we have talked, and you know what it is. This is my friend, Frank.
Frank, do you know Tyler?
Go ahead, Linda.
Oh, I've known Terry just since I guess 2005. But those few years I've known her going into Gate Home, those have gotten to her. She did self-train me, and with Terry, I probably would not be where I'm going to stand to be today. She taught me everything I know what time to do, and she's been a blessing. I don't know anybody that's quite that dependable. 7 o'clock in the morning is 6:45, and every day. What's that? You cover it. There's things that go on behind the scenes that comes late in here. You know what? There's just things that go on behind the scenes that we can't always talk about. And, you know, Terry really steps up to the plate, saying a lot about a lot of things. When you ask her to get something done, you know it is done. And I know that on a professional level, I'm going to miss you, but on a personal level, I'm really going to miss you. Love you, Terry. Thank you. And these are my baby girls. This is Reagan and Darby, my husband, Fred.
Oh, I thought they were the other two.
Beautiful. And we know Tyler. Fred, do you know Tyler?
Take a canoe.
I'm Rick. I've been working with Terry since 1988 when I came to Belleville. And I've never seen that man before my entire
I'm Michelle. I've worked with Terry, I don't know, a long time. And I'll miss you, Terry. And this is Jim.
Hi, I'm Vicki, and I worked with Terry too since the early mid-70s, and I've always enjoyed working with her. She was a lot of help to me all during my career, and we did appreciate Terry.
I'm Dr. Mary, my husband Tony. I worked with Terry in the East St. Louis office, and we worked together in Belleville. I'm retired now, and I hope she enjoys retirement as much as I do.
Hi, I'm Kim Shea. I worked at East St. Louis when Terry first started. I was there, and
Kim had hair down to her knees.
yeah. And then I've worked with everybody else: Mary and Shirley, Denise, Vicki, Trish, and then I retired in 1990, and still keep in contact with Terry for technical advice. And now that she's leaving, I'll need Tyler's number.
I'm Jenny Domsick. I started with Terry in East St. Louis, then I went to Belleville, Terry went to Belleville, and then I went to East St. Louis, she stayed in Belleville. And it's been really nice working over the years with Terry, and I miss you. And I know
we don't lie.
I know Tyler. I remember his first day too.
I'm Wes, and I was there in East St. Louis when Terry walked in the door, and you were there not terribly long, but long enough to know you well, and you got promoted, and that was what you needed to do for yourself, and that was a well worth effort. And I'm glad you're retiring. You'll enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
I'm Sandy Westbrook, and I've worked with Terry since the day that she also started Social Security. We worked together as DIRTs, which was a word that meant data review technicians, and we got so good they decided to do away with us and make us Title II people, or Title 16, and talk to the public. And Terry and I had to talk to each other a great deal about learning how to do that, because we were very happy with our books and our computations and our family maximums. And
Some things haven't changed.
some things haven't changed. Yes, and it was a joy to work with Terry. And when she had to decide to transfer to Belleville for the shorter distance, we sat there and figured out the miles, because it was really hurting, because we had a good friendship going.
We
And
still do.
we still do. I'll be glad when she's retired so I can see more of her. The day that her first baby, well, first of all, I helped plan that first baby, and I'm not going to say
Which was
Was that news to But the day that first baby was born, she talked to me in the morning. The day, it was Saturday, and she was dusting the house. And, oh, I'm going to the doctor today, she says, Sandy. And she went to the doctor, and then later on, I'm still cleaning my house, and she calls and tells me, I've had the baby. You remember that?
Yeah, I worked the day before.
She worked. Yeah. We went to breakfast the day before.
Oh, yeah, that Christmas breakfast.
Yeah, in ice.
She drove herself to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I drove myself.
She took herself to the hospital. It was a pleasure. Leland and Sally, you raised a wonderful girl. Thank you, and I value our friendship, honey.
I'm Kathy Quant, and my husband Willie.
I have worked with Terry since I started with Social Security in November of 1979. We were DRTs together. As you can tell, this is the old fart DRT table. These are the retired people. And Terry, I went to Belleville, Terry came to Belleville. I finally retired in September of 2002. And you cried a while ago. Tears of joy, I hope, because you will never regret this decision. Never, ever, ever. Yeah, oh, you retired. You
That's wonderful.
I've been with the agency 22 years, and I was lucky enough to move to Belleville 6 years ago. And Terry was my mentor. She's taught me a great deal, and I owe her a lot. It's been a wonderful ride. When you sat in the break room and told me you were retiring and you started crying, I said, for God's sakes, woman, you're supposed to be happy. Good luck in your retirement. You'll be like all those happy people out there. Give it about a couple weeks and you'll be fine, and it'll all be good, and congratulations, and well deserved.
Thanks, ma'am.
Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
We meet once a month. Usually on a Wednesday.
Okay.
The next one is 19th of January at O'Charlie's at 12:30 in the afternoon. Okay, you're invited.
Join us.
Hey, that's where you go to lunch.
Yeah, I have been fortunate enough to work with a bunch of great people, and they're like family because we're together a lot, and a lot of you are more like my children than cohorts, actually, you know. Well, sometimes I think Tyler can attest to that. but in a good way. I mean, you know, I hope I have formed a relationship with everybody that I'll be able to keep this the rest of my life, because Social Security has a great bunch of people that work for them, you know, and I don't think people really understand when they come in and talk to us on a daily basis. We really do care about what happens to the person on the other side of the table, you know. Sometimes you get them in there, if they are lying to you, you know. You know, and then sometimes you catch them in that lie, and sometimes they go to prison. You know, I mean, it just happens. But I mean, when the day is over, the majority of the people that we deal with are wonderful people, you know, and I enjoy dealing with the public. I was really afraid of that at first. I really didn't think that I was going to be able to do that because I was so backward and bashful. And some of you that worked with me in the early years in the East St. Louis office can attest to that I was pretty quiet. I really was. If you can believe that. But I hope that I'll be able to come back and visit you guys, and maybe outside of the office as well. You know, keep me posted on what's going on, and Dennis and I.
Tyler will take care of that.
Okay. But no, I'm very fortunate to have worked with an agency that I have worked with. It's a great agency to work for. They're really good to their employees, and we work hard. There's no doubt about that. There is not many federal agencies that can say that they are busy 100% of the time, and we can actually say that. We don't have any lull moments. If we did, we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves. When the computers go down, we're like, we don't know what to do. But of course, some of us that worked in the paper world prior to the computers can always revert back to that paper. Well, we have to guide everybody else that has a really, I know, well, you know, I mean, when I started with the agency, they didn't have a computer. I mean, we actually did everything on paper, everything.
Stone tablets. She's lying.
copy machine, one per office. You know, and you stood in line. You know, and then you had the mimeograph machines. And we had the manual Olivetti's. Any of you remember those? You know? And when you walked into the office in East St. Louis where I started, there was 85 employees when I started. And as all you heard was these keys on these typewriters, click, 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 you know? I mean, it was noisy. You interviewed at your desk. You didn't have a separate interviewing table. I mean, I could tell you some stories. I mean, I probably could write a book, but, you know, the one that I remember the most is the lady brought her husband in, and he was blind, but he could see as long as he had his Bible. Well, that day he must have had his Bible because he could see. He came in, the wife insisted that he get his Social Security check. Well, we don't print checks in our office, we informed her. She was not happy with that answer. So she flopped down on the floor, crossed her legs. She said, I'm not leaving until I get his check. Well, they called the guard. He came up. He pleaded with her to get up off the floor, or he was going to have to remove her. She refused. Finally, he picked her up by her legs and drug her out the door. And that's a true story. I mean, I thought, why, what am I doing here? You know, but really, you know, it's just part of it. You know, you deal with so many different types of people. But, you know, we've had some good times. We've had some laughter in the offices. We used to have the baseball team called the Dofers. Remember that? Dofers, D-O-F. Because at one point, you know, you either had a DOFA or a non-DOFA claim. I mean, you're not, new people aren't going to understand what I'm talking about.
Jerry, like 3 people got that.
Is that Tyler? Yeah. It used to be a DOFA or a non-DOFA claim, you know, how it was processed. It was either madcap or non-madcap and so on and so forth. You know, that was back in the days when you did everything on paper.
I understand.
Okay. And then when we finally did get a computer in the office, it was just to get your queries. So you stood in line to get your queries. Well, if you had to look up a Numadent, you went to the microfiche, which we had a rack, and it had all the microfiche. And you had to go in there and look all that up. Well, when they did away with the microfiche, I think they used a slow cooker and got rid of those. Yeah. And then they were all put into the computer system. And that's why a lot of times we see the problems we see nowadays, because somebody didn't type it in right. So anyway, that's just a little background on that. But anyway, all in day, thanks everyone for coming. I am just ecstatic that everybody came. I'm so
getting cold feet,
happy to
man.
have known everyone that is here. So thanks again. And
You'll be okay.
this is Tyler.
In case any of you don't already know, I understand that Michelle and Terry's other daughter would like to come up and say a few words. So,
See, you don't even get a name now, so.
Okay.
Christy.
Michelle and Company.
Well, first of all, we just want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting my mom in her retirement. It's going to be really hard for my mom to retire. I think you all know she's a workaholic. So, since it's so hard for her not to be working, one, she'll either probably find me another job because she doesn't know how to do anything else, or she'll have to because she'll be sick of putting up with our father. So don't be surprised if in a few months you walk in your local Walmart and you see my mom. Welcome to Walmart.
No way.
We love you, Mom.
Love you too.
Happy retirement.
Thank you.
And now our dad would like to say a few words.
Oh.
You thought they were bad.
I can remember Terry's first job. She worked for over St. Louis for a life insurance company. I think she cleared about $50 a week after she paid for her going back and forth to St. Louis. Then she applied for a post office job, real carrier. She turned that down, and that's how she ended up in Social Security. She went to East St. Louis. She worked there, I think, about 6 years. 9 years. 9 years. When she left that office, she cried 2 weeks. She left East St. Louis.
I cried too long. So you know what to look for.
Yeah. So, yeah, 2 weeks. And I kept telling her, you know, come to Belleville office, you'll make new friends, it'll be okay, you'll be okay. So finally, about the 3rd week, she started settling in and she started liking it. And, yeah, so that's how she got to Social Security.
So Tyler.
So, I think her life was around Social Security. She talked about all her best friends at Social Security. The last one, the great one, was when we was on vacation last year in Florida. We got a phone call from a person. A text message. Okay, a text message from a person.
Are you correcting him while he's making a speech?
Somebody So, I hate to mention Tyler's name again. So, no, it was always good fun, good friends with my wife and myself. I enjoyed every time I went out with you guys, whatever. Long time ago, we used to go bowling. I know a few of you guys remember that. We went to, a couple times, we had some barbecues. Tyler's way before your time. So, barbecues together, you know, the East St. Louis and the Belleville office, great times. Like I said, it's all like a family to us, so thank you for all you did with my wife and my kids and myself. So, thank you.